And I see most of you guys were interested more in the song than listening to me. I hope you're not going to say I'm done with this guy. This guy keeps boring us every morning. And I tell you, it's a lovely morning on a Saturday. It's about to rain. I don't know about your place where you have joined from. So I welcome everyone, all the guests and members, to the 151 meeting at the Gabbys Toastmaster Club. Now, just before you start getting bored and start shouting that I am done with this guy, I'll need to highlight few key points and then you all can continue. So Toastmaster International allows us to speak on all sorts of topics, but we at Gabby's Toastmaster Club request all the speakers to be mindful and responsible and abstain from speaking on topics of sex, religion, and politics. Also, we are cognizant of the fact that we practice diversity and inclusion in letter and in spirit, and ensure that there are no sexist or racist undertones which may create hostility among the members, speakers, or the guests. So I am done with highlighting the key points. Now I'll hand it over to the presiding officer of the day, which is distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel. She is a senior data analyst and a certified image consultant and personal branding coach. She is the current vice president education of the Gabbys Toastmaster Club. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chaitanya. May we hear it for our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Chaitanya today. Thank you once again, and I welcome everyone, my dear Toastmasters, as well as guests, to meeting number 151 of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. We have recently celebrated our 150th meeting, during which we have launched our newsletter, Ubuntu 6.0, and our website, thegabbystmc.com. If you're yet to check out both, please feel free to visit the website and find out the resources. You'll find everything there. Now, I already see a few guests in the room. We have Toastmaster Sahil Sachdeva, who is General Evaluator, who will be introduced during the course of his role. I see DTM Rohan, who is an evaluator, and I also just met one of our guests, Toastmaster Saurav from Toastmasters of Delhi. Thank you so much to my dear guests for joining our meeting today. I hope you will have a wonderful experience. For the benefit of guests here today, non-Toastmasters or Toastmasters, Toastmasters is a place where we come together to overcome glossophobia. That's what is most of us, that's what we generally think. But in Toastmasters, I think I've learned a way of living life. From being accountable for the smaller roles to taking up stage, I think Toastmasters covers it all. Especially being an officer, I can proudly say that there are many skills that you come across during the entire course of your duration that you learn, inculcate, and then take it back to your personal and professional life. So if you are yet to think whether you want to be a Toastmaster or not, I would say this clarifies your choice. I call this meeting number 151 to order. To move on with the course of the meeting, I would now like to introduce our Toastmaster of the day. I would rather say the first time ever Toastmaster of the day, who has never picked up this role ever in her life, a new Toastmaster who joined her journey with Axis Bank Toastmasters Club and is now a dual member with the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. She is a dedicated HR by profession and specialized in learning and development. Beyond her professional pursuits, she is an unapologetic foodie at heart. I must say, you will realize that she's such a sweetheart at heart too. With this, please welcome with a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Tessy Joy Philip. Toastmaster Tessy, the virtual stage is all yours to sit on fire. Oh my God, thank you so much, DTM. Sorry, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel. That was a lovely introduction. And a very good morning to Sensational Saturday to all my Gabbys, Toastmasters, and the guests. How are you all feeling today?
Amazing.
Excited, not yet done with the
Energetic.
meeting. What about the guests? Could we hear something from Saurav?
Amazing.
Yeah,
Always feel that.
wonderful. What brings you here to Gabby's today, Saurav? Maybe have few
I'm
words
just
from you, please.
scouting my WhatsApp groups. I'm just scouting my WhatsApp groups. Just came back from my near to Jahapana Park. Just completed my morning joggings and grab a book. And suddenly I saw that WhatsApp message that the meeting is about to start. So let's meet you people, because I always love to meet new people. So that's actually bring me here. And a super excited person always. As a sales professional, I always meet people, and that is actually in my DNA. Love people and meeting people.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Saurav.
Thank you so much.
I can see the mood in the meeting today is absolutely uplifting, and that's an amazing feeling altogether. But my theme for the day says otherwise. You know, as human beings, we love talking about everything positive. But here we go. Please tighten your belts, and I want you to start imagining, my dear friends. Okay, this is how the scene starts. Okay, in the movies, I'm sure all of you have seen that there is this ideal family of four, the husband, the wife, and the two children. Husband is a okay guy. He takes care of the family. The wife is awesome. She's multitasker. She takes care of everything. She's the best. Children are also okay. Life is beautiful. There are no problems. And suddenly one day, there rings the bell at 7 in the morning, and that unwanted Mamaji comes home. These are these unwanted guests. They come home and we all become speechless. Have you had that situation in your life before? You know what? This is how exactly what happens in our lives too, my dear friends. For example, there are these unwanted guests with who will come to anybody's house without prior notice, without prior intimation, and they just stay with us. How do you handle them? What do you do? Do you lose your mind or do you say, I am done? Okay, have you ever reached a point in your life when you had enough? When you have reached the end of your rope and you simply cannot take it anymore? If so, you are not alone. Many of us have experienced the overwhelming feeling of frustration, exhaustion, discontent that leads us to say those four powerful words: I am done. I quit. Any thoughts around it? Yes, it's a sensational Saturday. Of course, we are feeling amazing. But, my dear friends, there is always two sides of the coin. Let's discuss the other side. Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel like quitting sometimes? Have you ever used this word called I am done? Any take on this from any of the Toastmasters out here? Come on, come on. Okay, very, very tough question, I guess. Miss Aparna, would you like to say something?
Sure, Toastmaster Tessy. I say I am done so often, Toastmaster Tessy. Honestly, I say it so often. It's not that you need an actual guest to come home. The guest can be in the form of a thought. The guest can be in the form of an emotion, an incident, a situation, an experience. It can be anything. And that happens ever so often, especially when you have kids. And I have two. So that keeps happening. The last time I said I'm done was just day before yesterday. I just threw my hands up and I said, I'm done. I'm not doing anything, turned off my phone, and then, yeah, that's it. So yeah, happens very often.
Thank
Thank you so much for sharing that. Often we do not want to talk about these things because it can be slightly embarrassing to open up in front of a crowd. But like I said, these are something which we need to speak about. I was done a couple of days back the moment Chaitanya came up to me and said, "Yeah, TMOD ka role le lo." And I'm like, wow, I'm ready. And then I realized, oh my God, this is this morning, last night, and I'm not ready at all because the work keeps piling up and I don't know what to say. I said, I am done. That's how this entire theme opened up. And I said, why not talk about it? I am somebody who's already 16 years of experience in LNOD. I meet people, I'm a public speaker, and there you are. I don't know what to say. I thought I was done, but I was not done. I say this million times a day. On that note, let's move ahead. So, for the benefit of the guests, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into three sections. The first section is the prepared speeches round, where the members will be delivering speeches based on the projects and parts they have chosen. The second part of the session is the table topics round, where members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet. This round is also known as the impromptu speech section. Guests are most welcome to participate in this round as well. And the third and the final part is the evaluation round, in which all the prepared speeches, as well as the other aspects of the session, will be evaluated by the general evaluator today and by his team. All right. So it's time to introduce the Taggle team and also the general evaluator for the day. As the Toastmaster of the day, it's my duty to introduce the role bearers who will assist me in running today's session. It's time to introduce the general evaluator of the day. Presently, he's working in Cognizant, a leader by heart, an inagon of vehement mind, a passionate debater, a diligent orator. He is a Smedley Platinum awardee and presently serving as an Area F4 Director in District 124. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Sahil Sachdeva from Meerut Toastmasters Club.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Well, as a general evaluator, I'll be keeping a note on everything. That is, I will be responsible for an end-to-end evaluation of this entire meeting. But now you must be wondering, how will I be able to do it all alone? Well, to help me do that, I have my Taggle team with me. I would now like to call someone who is working as an analyst in a fintech company in Bangalore, looking for opportunities to speak and take roles and develop public speaking and leadership skills through Toastmasters. Help me welcome the timer for today, Toastmaster Pranav Pothan. Toastmaster Pranav, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil, for that introduction. I want to ask you one question, all of you. Do you know what is the average attention span of a human being? Anybody?
7 seconds.
Yeah, 7 seconds.
Yeah, on an average, it is somewhere around that. It is almost 8.25 seconds. Now, when I joined Toastmasters, my biggest problem was that, unlike others, they had very little content and they would never overshoot the time. But problem for me was, if I had a speech for 5 minutes, then it would be going for around 7 or 8 minutes or something like that. So that was the biggest problem I encountered. But listen to me, when I heard some great speakers, I always found that they always managed to speak within that time limit of 5 to 7 minutes or 7 to 8 minutes. And mind you, within those 8 minutes, they could actually convey all the ideas to the speaker they want. And they caught the attention of the speakers. So today, as a timer, I'm going to precisely help you with that. Now, you know that Toastmasters meeting has 3 parts: the prepared speech, the evaluation, and the table topics. So for the prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. So when you start speaking, you will be seeing my Zoom background as this. And when the time strikes 5 minutes, I will be changing changing my screen to green card. And when it strikes 6 minutes, it will be yellow background. And when it is 7 minutes, it will be a red background. For evaluation, my screen would be normally like this, blue background. And when the time is 2 minutes, it would be green background, 2.5 minutes, yellow background, 3 minutes, red background. So the time for evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. Now for the table topics, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. So when it strikes 1 minute, my background would be green. When it is 1.5 minutes, it would be yellow. And when it is 2 minutes, it would be red. Remember, there would be a grace time of 30 seconds, which I would be offering for all the 3 sections. For prepared speeches, for evaluation and table topics. But for the table topics, the grace time for the minimum time for speaking would be 1 minute. There won't be a lower grace time. So keep in mind that, and always remember, time and tide waits for no one. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. Next, we have someone who believes that she's a chirpy, a happy-go-lucky bookworm who loves to cook, travel, listen to music, and read about Indian mythology. Help me welcome the counter for today, Toastmaster Upasana. Toastmaster Upasana, the stage is all yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction. Good morning. The purpose of today I'll be the counter, and the purpose of my role is to account and note all the words and sound that are used as crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will be listening for overused words, including and, well, but, so, I like, and I will note all of them, including the filler words are, I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase like I, such that this means, and at the end, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Counter. Next, we have a biotechnologist who turned into a psychologist enthusiast, currently pursuing PGD in training and development from ISTD Delhi. Help me welcome the word master grammarian, Toastmaster Maanvi Kumar. Toastmaster Maanvi, the stage is all yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests present here. Today, I'm playing the role of the grammarian. And as we all know, good grammar costs nothing, but a bad grammar costs more than money, because it actually diverts the attention of the audience. So today I'll be helping you all with the grammar part. I'll have a keen note on what all the people are speaking throughout the meeting and will share my report. But along with that, I'll even be requesting all of you to please avoid the use of any foreign language. And if it is necessary, please translate it into English. Along with that, I even have a word of the day for all of you today. And the word of the day is aggravation. And the meaning is the state of being annoyed, irritated, or frustrated by any situation or someone's action. I'll share the word of the day in the chat box and will share my report in the journal evaluation session. Thank you. Over to the journal evaluator.
Thank you very much, Madam Grammarian. So I would request everyone to kindly make use of the word of the day, and whenever somebody uses the word of the day, we'll try to give a thumbs up or a virtual thumbs up, whatever works for you. Last but not the least, we have a fun-loving person who likes to explore places and enjoy nature, a good listener and a business analyst by profession based in Bangalore working for FIS. Help me welcome the listener for today, Toastmaster Sanjeet Nayak. Toastmaster Sanjeet, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil. Very good morning, all my fellow Toastmasters and all the guests who are in the meeting. So today I'll be playing the role of a listener, and I'll be going to listen to all the speakers who are going to speak. And at the end of this meeting, I'll be asking few questions, and I'll be taking note who is actually listening in this meeting. I'll be actually asking the questions based on the prompts given to me by the general evaluator. Right. So that's all from my side. Over to you, General Usual Sahil. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Listener. Thank you so much. I'll come up with my report at the end of this meeting when called upon by Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Back to you, Madam TMOD, Tessy.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Sahil Sachdeva. And it's time for something more special, which is going to happen now. Are we ready for the first section of the day? Can I hear some voices? Can I hear some thumbs up? Give me some kind of a virtual emoji so that it helps me move ahead. Thank you so much. So there you go. Before I call upon the first speaker of the day, it's my opportunity today to introduce the first evaluator of the day. He has more than 8 years of corporate experience working in a CPSE under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, the Government of India. He is a two-time distinguished Toastmaster, currently serving as a District 124's Public Relation Manager. Please put your hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Rohan Nag.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The purpose statement of the project being delivered is as follows. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. The time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best to the speaker. Ma'am, back to you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Rohan Nag. And what do I say about the first speaker? He is a chartered accountant, intelligent by profession, and is currently working at EY. He loves playing football and badminton and likes to cook. Please welcome Toastmaster Devasish Parmar. Toastmaster Devasish Parmar, the August of Joy. The August of Joy, Toastmaster Devasish Parmar.
Thank you very much.
Timer, please note, the time of the speech is between 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
The month of August in my life is an extraordinary, not because it's my birthday month. It's because there is a lot of festivals. It's a beginning of festival season filled with joy and celebrations. Right from Rakhi, Janmashtami, Independence, Onam, the festivity goes on till the month of December. It sets the stage for an unforgettable journey. But this year, August was something different in many ways. It was the beginning of self-development and fulfillment of emotions. At the very first, first of all, right at the Toastmaster itself, I was not only speaking, I was not only taking part in speeches, but I also took part in TMOD and PTM roles, which I was kind of scared of. I thought it was kind of challenging because one has to speak a lot. But I overcame that. I overcome that comfort out of my comfort zone. Simultaneously, I also started going to gym for the first time in my life. And it was not just for building physical strength, but it was kind of developing the kind of lifestyle that one needs once you cross your 30s. And in the midst of all this personal development, there was one event which me and my wife was waiting for a very long, and it was the arrival of our daughter Vaidehi and our parents on the occasion of Onam. The day when they started their journey from Kerala, we were very excited to receive them. And as I rushed home from office, That day, the journey seemed endless as I was eager to meet them. The moment I reached in front of my house, I could hear my daughter speaking to our parents. When I opened the door, her emotional gaze looked at me. She was then still looking at me. I carried her in my arms and I kissed. As I kissed, my beard playfully tickled her. She soon rushed into our house. She soon rushed into her room, looking at the photograph, and started uttering, Amma, Appa, Amma, Appa, reassuring herself to the presence of her parents. This feeling was very overwhelming, and I think only the parents would understand it. Those 10 days when they were here, it was filled with emotional fulfillment. I loved playing with my daughter and babbling her, even though I couldn't understand it. I loved to see that she has learned so much thanks to her parents. She had developed a certain words for things, like she used to call egg tum tum. She used to say fish mimi, and I used to love hearing that. So her favorite pastime was, watching rhymes. And as soon as you go inside the house, she will tell pata, pata, which means songs in Malayalam. So as soon as you start the rhymes, she'll be into a different world. She will dance, she will express, as if like it has taken her to a different world. And those 10 days, we also listened to a lot of rhymes, and we also started humming. Beans on the goes round and round, round and round. We started humming those things also. But as I was writing about this speech and thinking about all those cherished moments, I realized that emotions comes very naturally to the people. But as we grow older, we stop showing our emotions, thinking that we look foolish. But it is very important, not only to connect with outside people, but more important, to connect within our family, to grow the bond stronger. So those 10 days passed so fast, and it came time for her to go back. It was time when Appa hugged me and my Amma kissed on my forehead, whispering the words of comfort. I couldn't control myself. I started crying and looking at my daughter going away. Me and my wife both started crying. We couldn't control ourselves. Life has its own way of throwing challenges so that we come stronger. But this month of August, to conclude, this month of August was a whirlwind of emotions and personal development and new beginnings. It's a reminder that even in the midst of goodbyes, there is a silver linings that lead us to growth, resilience, and strong bonding. Thank you very much.
Give a big round of applause to Devashish Parmar. Awesome, Devashish. I was born with a Joy middle name as Joy. My father's name is Joy. I'm a very joyful person, but children always give us joy and sorrows at the same time. It's a difficult moment to let go of your children and to stay without them at the same time, like Toastmaster Aparna said. Difficult to handle them with all the mighty strength they come with. Thank you so much. All right, that was a fabulous speech. And it's time to introduce our second speaker for the day. All right. And before I introduce the second speaker, may I please welcome the second evaluator of the day. She is a software developer at Cognizant Bangalore. She hails from the steel city of India, Bokaro, Jharkhand. Her hobbies are traveling, clicking, lot of photos, which are Instagrammable photographs. Please welcome Toastmaster Mamta Singh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tessy. My target speaker is going to attempt L2P2 from effective body language. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. Thank you and all the best to my target speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta Singh. And what do I say about our second speaker? He is a product manager by profession and a content creator by passion. In his free time, he likes creating content, is passionate about photography, traveling, and video making. Give a big round of applause to our Toastmaster, Ritwik Raj. All the best, Ritwik. His speech time is around 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please note. Thank you.
Good morning, Toastmasters, dear guest. Today, let me take you all on a road trip with me, which I remember till date for all the wrong reasons. And we will find out why. Just to give a bit of context, this is about 2015. At this stage of my life, after having around 4 years of work ethics, what usually a birthday meant for me was just scrolling down and responding to messages, liking and commenting on few posts, taking and returning few calls to near and dear ones, and rest of the time working as usual. I expected this birthday to be no different. Before I get to know that my company has a policy where I can get a free Mercedes ride. I was ecstatic to know this. Before the realization hits me that, hey, forget about driving a Mercedes. I don't have the confidence to drive a Maruti van. Anyway, I let the cat out of the bag to my friends, and as the dreadful combination of friends in your mid-20s and overconfidence, what happened was that we ended up planning a 2-day trip to OT. We all started prepping for weeks in anticipation of the adventure that lay ahead. Finally, the fateful day arrived. My friend Sarnik goes to pick up the car and we were supposed to leave at sharp 10. So it is already 10 o'clock and there are no signs of my friend. So I give him a call. Hey, dude, Sarnik, where are you? Yeah? Why is it taking so long? Hey, Ritwik, I'm driving the car, yeah, but something is wrong. It's not going beyond 20 kilometers. I had to put the phone on loudspeaker to ensure I heard it right. And I thought, we hired a Mercedes for cruising and here it is not even crawling. That's when my third friend, Ankit, comes and says, okay, guys, just ask him to come. It must be a setting issue. I will figure it out. Finally, the red color Mercedes A-Class graciously glides away in front of our house. We all stack our bags at the back and step inside the car. As we step in, we truly got transported into a futuristic world of opulence, and we can see each detail meticulously crafted for the style and comfort, and it was the most luxurious interior I had seen, and truly living up to its reputation. Our journey started. We were all in high spirits, cracking jokes and enjoying the weather. And this is when my friend Ankit, who's driving, says, and I quote him, guys, it doesn't feel like I'm driving the car. It feels like the car is driving me forward. As we crossed this Ajipura signal, And if I remember it right, the same construction work or different was going on that time as well. And my friend Sarnik couldn't help but say, hey guys, don't you get always the feeling that these roads, rather than filled of potholes, it is actually full of potholes stacked in off road somewhere. Anyways, our journey continued. Little did we know that fate had some other plans. As we rounded a curve into a narrow winding road, we suddenly see an ox in front of us. Our friend had to swerve the car in order to save the animal. And before we realized, we were doing duck, 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 crossing the divider. And our friend slams the brake. The car comes to a sickening thud, leaving a cloud of dust and smoke. Our heart was racing. I completely got disoriented. And then we checked on our friends and realized all of us are doing fine. The animal was also doing fine. I can see the dashboard in front of the steering wheel blinking all yellow and red, which tells me something is not right. We all got out of the car, shaken but grateful that nothing major untoward has happened. We took stock of the car. It looks good from outside, so we're happy. As we hunker down to see, we can see the fumes and smoke coming. And that's when the sinking realization hits that our much anticipated road trip is over before it even began. What happened was, following the aftermath and handling the aftermath of the accident, as we were on continuous calls for getting help, and finally the tow truck arrived. What was supposed to be a joyous day and the adventure that we remember for long turned into a harrowing experience for us. Finally, the car got loaded and we called a cab to return back to home. As we were returning, our friends, we couldn't help but reflect on the cruel fate that had robbed us of the adventure, the most adventurous day of our life. And as I can see, the tow truck, which started going, I couldn't help but draw the parallel and the irony that our Mercedes was still not cruising and it was still crawling at a speed of 20 kilometers, this time on top of the tow truck. So that's all. Thank you, everyone.
Fabulous, Ritwik. Toastmaster Ritwik Raj, fabulous. Thank you so much. And please accept my apologies. I'm already stressed out with the fact of being a TMOD for the day. I forgot to tell your title. Let me do that right now. Toastmaster Ritwik Raj, road trip that ended before it started. Road trip that ended before it started. Friends, are you planning to buy a Mercedes? Please stop that idea right away, because I didn't realize it that emotions were the only thing I was supposed to watch out for until now, when he said Mercedes can be a big stress in our lives. So please do not think of buying Mercedes. All right, here we go. Let's move on for the third speaker. And before I do so, let me introduce our third evaluator of the day. She is a passionate speaker, hippie at heart, a mom at home, and an entrepreneur by choice. Please welcome Toastmaster Aparna Raja.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tessy. My target speaker today is attempting her level 3 project to connect with storytelling. Her path is visionary communication, and the purpose of her speech is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. So basically, it's story time. The speech timer, please note, is for 5 to 7 minutes. With that, I wish my speaker all the very best. Break a leg. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aparna Raja. Here you go. What do I say about my third speaker? She is a senior data analyst, certified image consultant, and a personal branding coach. She is the current vice president education of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Please put your hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel. Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel. Shakuni. Shakuni Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel.
How many of you are aware of Shakuni as a key character from Mahabharata? I can see a couple of you raising your hands, but that was more of a rhetorical question because I know all of you would be knowing, at least you would have heard of Shakuni once in your lifetime. That's how prominent he is as a character. All my life, I've been hearing about Shakuni as one of the devious, the devil with malicious intentions. You might have other thoughts. Let's park those thoughts. Until recently, when I heard a story, the backstory of Shakuni. So here it goes. Shakuni was a prince of Kandhar, the present day Afghanistan. He was prince of King Subala, a sibling of Gandhari. Gandhari, he was a fond sibling of Gandhari. Gandhari, who was destined to marry Dhritarashtra, the blind prince of Hastinapur. Now, these would be the key characters of my story here further. Gandhari was a Manglik, and the prince of Hastinapur, the blind prince of Hastinapur, was non-Manglik. With Gandhari being Manglik, her family decided to marry her off to a goat, a sacrificial goat, so that the ill effects of her being Manglik won't carry forward in her married life. And further on, she was married to the king of Hastinapur, Dhritarashtra. Couple of years later, Dhritarashtra got to know that Gandhari had a first husband, which eventually makes him the second husband. He was enraged. He was infuriated at the moment so much so that he decided to put the entire clan of Gandhari in a dungeon. This dark, foul-smelling dungeon where the entire clan was put together. They were stuffed together. More so, he ordered to starve them to death. That was his atrocities on the people of Kandhar. Slowly and slowly, people started dying. They were hardly being given a fistful of rice, only to keep them alive enough so that their starvation is prolonged. When people started dying, that aggravated the panic in the room, in the dark, smelly, gloomy dungeon room. And the leftover ones, the people who were alive, they came together to King Subala, asking him for some way out. King Subala told them that there was no way out, but one thing they can definitely do is they can probably have one of them alive to avenge their deaths. That's when everyone unanimously agreed to ensure that they are giving their fistful of rice to this young person, Shakuni, so that he could survive. King Subala, further on, the day of his death, he pleaded King Dhritarashtra to set Shakuni, this young, harmless Shakuni, free, who will be his slave forever. That time, Dhritarashtra had 101 children already, as per the legends. So he thought, what's wrong to have a slave like Shakuni forever with the young princes of his own? So he agreed. The same night, King Subala was talking to Shakuni here. Shakuni, you will be set free today. The moment you are out of this dungeon, sooner or later, you will remember that you had some backstory, but you will not remember the pains we all went through. You will be so much in the luxury that you will have around. You won't remember anything much later in your life. But I don't want that to happen to you. The moment you take any step in your life, I want you to remember that pain.
Having said that, King Subala twisted Shakuni's leg then and there. And that's the reason we know Shakuni as someone who is crippled, moves hardly with one leg. That's the story of Shakuni. Shakuni was set free, and the rest is history. Now, looking at everyone's face here, I can see we are sympathizing Shakuni. Most of us didn't even know the backstory. Reflect back in your own life, your personal profession life. How many Shakunis you have had in your professional lives or personal lives? People you just jump to conclusion, calling them the devils, somebody you don't want to talk to, arrogant people, and then cutting off your relationships with them. Those are just becoming Shakunis for you because you're being judgmental, jumping to conclusion without even knowing their backstory, where they are coming from. I'm damn sure the moment you get to know where those people are coming from, you will sympathize there. When we're talking about communication here in Toastmasters, I would say this is another part of communication where you sit with the other person to understand their backstory instead of jumping to conclusions. Understand where they are coming from, have a heart-to-heart conversation, and I'm sure that's gonna save a lot of your relations. That's gonna mitigate a lot of scars that you're carrying so far. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster of the Day. What a new story of Shakuni I got to know today, even though I've seen Mahabharata many a times. And I didn't realize there is another side. But did you know, my dear friends? So well done, Nancy. That's fabulously explained. Now, let me tell you another side of that story again. When we are judgmental, what we do is put a lot of stress on our heart and minds. That by giving a lot of stress of anything and everything, and we are stressed out completely, and you get stuck in life. And that's when sometimes you say, I am done with that relationship. So, friends, it's time to think. Whenever you face such problems with your relationship, whether it's friends, family, your near and dear ones, before you start judging, it's time to open up, have open conversations. So I leave the stage open to all of us today and discuss. Any of us can come forward and talk about any situations, most recent or probably happened a couple of years back, where you felt that you were almost done and you bounced back. Anybody who wants to talk about it, please, this is the stage to talk. Come on, let's hear some of the stories here. When you felt like quitting. I hope I'm audible. No? No one? Oh God, Saturday. Sanjana, Toastmaster Sanjana, say something. You want me to participate in the table topic master, right? Come on, come on. Say something.
I can't think of any incident like that.
Anything whenever you felt like giving up in life, you have no incidents whatsoever? Really? Wow, I have something to learn from you. All right. Anybody? Chaitanya?
Okay, I can
Upasana?
go.
Sorry, Chaitanya, go ahead, please.
But it is not a very fantastic story where a lot happened.
I am
But
not
still, I'll go
really,
with it.
I am okay with not so fantastic stories. Friends, are we ready to hear him out? Can we give him a big round of applause for opening his mic and talking to us? Thank you.
So when I was in the last semester, in the 8th semester of my engineering days, that time I gave my first interview for an internship because our last semester was mandatory for internships. So I gave an interview there, and that person gave me a feedback that whatever I know, a person from standard 8th or 10th would know better, and I didn't know anything. So I was all devastated that I have wasted all my 4 years. I don't know anything, and literally I didn't used to study much. So I did not know anything. So I came back. There was a big lawn in front of our hostel. I sat there. I cried there for around 10-15 minutes that I don't know anything. Then a friend of mine came. He said, if you don't know anything, you know what you don't know. It's easy. Just go and study that. You'll know that. So you have the problem, you know the problem, then you will definitely get the solution. Problem would have been that you didn't know what the problem was. So there are a lot of problems in my sentence. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So
Absolutely.
this is what happened. And then I studied for around 4 months, day and night. Every time I was on my laptop coding, doing something, learning something new. And eventually that helped me. And all those 4 years, the sins I had done all those 4 years were washed away in these next 4 months.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for sharing your not so fantastic story and with all those problems. Believe me, you're the only one who has so many problems in one day in one of the sentences. Fabulous job done. All right, there you go. It's time for all of you to please congratulate me because we just bought our new EV and we are some of the few customers in Hyderabad to do so. So I'm waiting. Please congratulate me. Please, 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 please. Just been 20 days and I need to hear all those. I mean, I can't hear you. Can you not unmute and say something?
Congratulations, Tessy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's a 23
Congratulations,
lakh
Tessy.
Gadi. Please congratulate me.
I've been waiting to say
Congratulations,
something to you,
Thank
Tessy.
you. Thank you.
Tessy
Thank you.
jaise koi nahi.
Thank you
You
so
can,
much. Can you
you can share
imagine?
our addresses also. You can Blinkit or Zomato some sweets to us.
Absolutely. Whatever you say, today I am not done. So whatever you say, it's going to be done. All right. So the new EV came in. We were all in awe. You know, happiness was to the extent I cannot even explain it to you. My children were on the seventh heaven or the ninth heaven, whatever it may be. Point was, we just enjoyed everything about it. And the best part about it was that there was no more going to the petrol bunks. And no more spending money on the petrols. That was heaven, my dear friends. What a smooth travel in the EVs. You must be thinking, is she advertising for the EV? Is she telling me to buy? What is this, your Saturday Toastmasters Club? All right, so 20 days into it, we get a call. Obviously, we're looking through the contract books and everything, and we realize it's 2 weeks and we're almost ready for the first servicing. That means we crossed 1,000 kilometers. Can you imagine? We just did that. So many trips here and there on a daily basis, dropping, picking kids, dropping his wife, picking up the wife. All that work, poor husband is doing all that. And it's time to book for the travel. So the story goes like this. We are supposed to go into this app. I'm not telling the name of the manufacturer we bought the car from. So we download the application and we are ready to register because what was I saying? The What was that word? What was that word I was talking about? So servicing cannot be done without doing it through the application. So I put in my chassis number and I'm waiting for the OTP to come in. I'm waiting. Can you imagine? It's been 5 minutes, no OTP has come in. And I'm like, yeah, my Airtel app is not, Airtel connection is not that bad that I cannot get OTP in so much of time. My God, something is wrong. And after half an hour of trying, it's not working out. We are not able to book our service and we call up the service center. In fact, the customer care to tell them that this is happening. And like, what is your name? And I say, usually my name is difficult again. So Tessy Joy Philip, what's your chassis number? No, this is not your car. This is in the name of Ghansham. And I'm like, what the hell? I still have the TR. I can show you all my bills I paid. This is me. My PAN is with you. Why are you saying this? All right. Okay. So before I continue, it's time for the Zoom master to please quickly go and do the polls for all the speakers. But before that, timer, please confirm. I hope none of our speakers are disqualified.
No, there are no disqualifications as of.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's time for the evaluate, oh, sorry, polls for the best speaker of the day. We do not have any icebreakers. So let's poll. Thank you. All right. So while you are submitting your polls, I continue with my story. And this thing went on for hours on the phone and we were exhausted. And that's when they tell somebody at the back end who was doing the data entry has made a mistake of putting his father or his mama's name with their phone number. The OTP is going there. Okay, no problem. We are perfectly fine. Just change it right away. Sorry, ma'am, we can't change it. I'm like, why? No, go to the showroom, show them all the paperwork, and then you change it. Like, why the hell will I show my paperwork? You just gave me all the paper. That's why you delivered the car to me, my dear friends. No. Do one thing. Get the RC and you come. We will upload with the document. That is why it is important. And I'm like, I am not ready for registration of my car because there was another problem. I didn't have an address proof. So I said, you goofed up. You made the mistake. And why do you want me to share all the documents so that you can change the name against the chassis number? That was a harrowing experience, my dear friends, because nowadays everything is digitalized. Whoever makes the mistake, the customer is always going to go through the issues. And millions of times, me and my husband were going through the fact that we are done and dusted with this particular brand. And during those times, I was also preparing for a speech for my Toastmasters. Imagine I'm sitting here, my husband is there speaking on the with the customer care, and he's shouting on the top of his voice to explain them, please get the chassis number against the name. And I'm like, yeah, it's my speech time. I need to prepare. I have a content. I need to deliver. You're giving me stresses. Please don't do that. What am I supposed to do, Tessy? Either you do your Toastmaster speech or let me speak to the customer care. So let me tell you, friends, every day, day in, day out, we go through so much of stress. That brand created that stress for us. And it went to that extent where we could end up in a stress between our relationship. And we realized that one of us has to just calm down. Otherwise, we are adding more to the stress. Are we all with me? Are you all with me? Do you like the story I'm sharing? These are real time stories which we go through. I don't know, no one is opening up, so I'm telling you my own stories, right? So I'm so glad, whether it is college, whether it is being single, whether it is being married, whether it is to have children around, whether it is not to have children around, whether it is a corporate life, whether it is anything and everything. I think we go through so many situations on and off every day that we feel like saying sometimes, oh God, I'm done. I can't take it anymore. So my next question to all of you is, in case you want to say something, is quitting always bad or is quitting good also? Which side of the weighing machine you are? Tell me. Share your thoughts. We're all Toastmasters. Imagine public speaking and I hardly see anybody speaking.
Hi, hello, good morning, all. Can I say?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I believe quitting is good. It's been since last 6 months or 9 months, I would say. Since last 9 months plus 5 months more, I have started doing quitting. Till I mean, I'm 35 and till 34 year, I was a people pleaser. So whatever comes at my end, at my desk, I never say no. Even I wanted to quit something, but they must be feeling bad. On the course of that, I did that. After that, I found it that it's nothing worth for me, and I can't deal with that. I got annoyed, irritated, frustrated in that situation or that on the person. So I felt aggravation on that. So quitting is good on some situation, on some people also, if you feel that it's loaded you depressing you, so it is good. Sometimes it's good to quit.
Toastmaster Shilpi Tiwari, thank you so much. Really, it is good to quit sometimes because you need to be sane. And thank you, Toastmaster Aparna. Really kind of you to share your feedback on quitting part. All right, now we move on to again an exciting journey for the day, and that's the second part. All right, to provide us with this challenge of today's table topics round, we have the table topics master who will be conducting the session today.
Tessy, sorry. From this meeting onwards, we have a 5 minutes break. I don't know if it's there in the agenda. So 11 to 11:05, there is a break. And then the TTM comes in at 11:05.
Okay, what should we do? Should we go off? I mean, tell everyone to take a break? Sorry, I'm not aware.
Break. That's something that we are starting from this. We'll be back at 11:05.
All right, take a break, please. Let's come back after 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Or if you don't want to buy a break, you can just stay back and network, or if you want, pick up your tea and coffee, whatever you want to do.
Okay, wonderful. Saurav, I saw that on the agenda and I was thinking that why did they put it maybe for the, classroom meetings or whatever you do?
No,
Maybe
no.
for that, not for the online. I wasn't sure.
We are starting because in the MOT came up as a recommendation.
MOD means?
MOT, moment.
As we're discussing this, let's be back by 11:05. Meanwhile, chit chat, say your go of your.
I wanted to say that dialogue so long, Tessy. Tessy, I was waiting for a chance.
Thank you, Aparna. That's very kind of you.
No, it suits you like 200%.
How old are your kids, Apu?
The younger one is 6, the older one is 9.
You still have time, Aparna. What do I say about mine? He's 14 and he's giving me chills.
Oh my God, yes.
Class 10 into the boards every day. And nowadays, I think there is a season going on with my little one who just turned 10. He's whining these days, whining. And he's whining. I don't know for what. So today my husband nicely gave it to him and he said, stop whining. We had it enough.
I know. I could imagine.
And then everything was perfect. Perfect. He was a nice kiddo. He gave me a peck on the cheek and it was all set in the morning. The stress was gone.
My younger one, okay, so I kind of pet him a lot. Somehow the young one feels like a baby for a long time. I pull him, I kiss him and hug him. And last week he said, Amma, don't, I'm growing up, don't. But I feel like I'm going to cry. Devasish, I know you understand that.
Devashish, are you married to a Malu?
Yeah, yes.
He's also in a club, Tessy. He's married to Abigail.
Oh, I didn't know and I've not seen Abigail till now. Congratulations, we have a Malu. അപ്പം മലയാളമൊക്കെ മനസ്സിലാവില്ലേ?
No, I don't know.
Pranav also.
I can understand. I can understand.
You are a Malu. If you don't understand, then who else will?
Yeah, I understand. That's what I said.
It's very difficult to
খুব ভালো দেবশিস খুব ভালো
বাংলা ভালো করে বলতে পারি আমি
That's it. I can't speak anything more than that.
So Devashish is actually a Gujarati, so KMCHO will do better.
देवशीष बंगाली फूड के बारे में मुझे बोला कल शायद से कल या परसों देन आई थॉट इज अ बंगाली क्या बात है हाँ मैं वो नाम तो मैच नहीं करता परमार बोले तो गुजराती है करेक्ट सौरभ आप क्यों छुपे हुए कैमरा ऑन करो ना कम से कम देखने तो यार इंस्पायर करते हो और दिखाते भी नहीं शक्ल
I am not in a
position
Tough, cold, cold.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to show that position also. No? How can you be always decked up? How is that possible?
You are on mute, Aparna.
I was saying, Toastmaster Sahil, come on camera. He's laughing, but we can't.
Laughing, yeah.
Okay, it's 11:05. Let's come back.
You have very good playlist, Aparna. Can you share
I'm
it
not
with me?
playing. I'm not playing.
Oh,
Tessy is
Zoom.
Tessy.
Gaurav is playing.
Master.
All right. Sorry, I didn't realize it was supposed to be break, but if you have gone for a break and come back, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed that little tiny, mini break for yourself. And it's time for the next session here. To provide us with the challenge for today's table topics round, we have the table topics master who will be conducting the session today. And what do I say about her? She is a student of IIT Varanasi. She loves playing badminton, reading books on business, trekking, and wakeboarding. Please welcome Toastmaster Sanjana Garai.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Tessy, for the wonderful introduction. So, dear members of the Gabbys and esteemed guests, welcome to the table topic session. This will test your impromptu speaking skills and how well you can organize your thoughts while keeping the basic structure of a speech in mind, which is an introduction, body, and a conclusion. And make sure to enjoy your speech throughout. Coming to today's topic, the phrase, I am done, consists of 3 words, but has so many emotions linked to it. Saying it with a cool swag when you've completed your assignment well before the deadline and your friends are struggling, you say, I am done. With pleasure after finishing a fulfilling task, say you wear your favorite party gown and you get ready for your party, you say, I am done. Or after you're tired, after a heavy and grinding task, you're like, I am done. Or whether you're in anger and out of control, you're like, I am done. Like the phrase has so many varied emotions attached to it, so does it give us the opportunity to disrupt a whole lot of table topics associated to it. So step forward with your creative selves and raise your hands for those of you who want to speak on the first table topic. Come on, let me have some hands, please. Those who want to volunteer to speak, otherwise I should be choosing.
Devashish has raised his hand.
Yeah, okay, so Devashish, I see that you're already the first speaker, right? So
It's okay. If there is no one else, no volunteering.
okay, fine. Okay. So Toastmaster Devashish, your topic is many tasks might be challenging and pose many obstacles. But in these situations, we must have patience and deal with them. So you have to speak on patience is key. Toastmaster Devashish, patience is key. Patience is key, Toastmaster Devashish.
Okay. A task came to me. My boss said, tally this balance sheet and trial balance, and also cash flow. I'm putting hours and hours tallying it. It's not happening. Not happening. Hey friend, I approached one of my colleagues. I don't know where it is going wrong. This trial balance is not tallying. Can you help me? I cannot match my balance sheet. Despite the trial balance, everything is fine. He said to me, have patience. You go one by one line item and you will be able to tally it. Because if trial balance is tallying, your balance sheet also will tally it. I said, okay, fine. I went line by line item, seeing that where I have missed it, which figures I have taken it wrong. And eventually, through patience, I was able to tally my balance sheet. So this shows it's not about the work we are doing in any part of your life. You need to have patience to get a right to you need to have patience uh, to arrive to right solution or right thing. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster, table topic master, Sanjana.
That was wonderful take on this topic. You're true. Sometimes a task might seem very complicated if we look at it as a whole. But if we divide it into smaller subtasks and then proceed one by one, then we realize it's actually very easy. So remember, patience is key. So now can I invite, we have our guest. So can I invite Toastmaster Kothiyar, if you're here? Or Toastmaster Akib, if you want to take up the next topic. So anybody else would want to volunteer? Anybody? Toastmaster Upasana, would you like to take one?
We have Evaluator, Rohan, who has raised his hand.
Okay,
Sorry,
Toastmaster
Upasana,
Rohan.
can we give you the next round, please?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we have DTM Rohan taking the next topic. Okay. So this is about being enthusiastic to do so many things. But often we're unable to plan out stuff properly. In these situations, a to-do list can do wonders. So, DTM Rohan, power of to-do lists. Power of to-do lists, DTM Rohan.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the trainings I had once attended, thanks to my office, in which the trainer had said that the best minds in the world, the top 1% of leadership, do something different that the balance 99 do not. And that is, they write down the day's plan. Every top-notch leader, you hear him or her speak, he will always say that it's always important to plan your day. When we are walking through the road, we can fall, a car can come from behind and honk, we may miss a bus. A lot of things can happen. The point is, a lot of untoward, unexpected things can happen. But having a proper structured plan, a to-do list, can actually provide us with some semblance of mind that, all right, even if something has gone beyond the scope of the day's plan, we still have something to fall back on, a plan and an idea. A to-do list that helped me recently, as some of you may know, I'm working for a government organization, is in any government setup, documentation is of prima importance. Nothing is more important than documentation. When we are participating in tenders, there are nothing less than 70 to 80 different sets of documents that are involved. You miss out on one, and the system literally rejects your application. It doesn't matter who you are. So we have a to-do list, and that to-do list is something that we follow, a checklist to ensure that nothing is ever missed out. Because when even a small mistake can happen from our end, the bomb falls from the ministry. And when that bomb falls, it just destroys everything. So a to-do list is a fantastic practice. It's a good practice to have. And believe me, it can be a lifesaver when something untoward or something unexpected happens. So this is a practice that I follow, definitely. If you do not, go ahead, because I am guaranteeing it from my personal experiences that yes, this is something that can really help you in whatever so that will be. Thank you very much, ma'am. Back to you.
Wonderful. You have explained the importance of to-do list and cited with so many examples. And let me show you, this is my little diary where I write all my to-do stuff. So yes, it has been scientifically proven that writing actually helps your brain to remember to do stuff much better. So from today, everyone make sure that you have a to-do list of your daily tasks. Okay, so the next speaker is going to be Toastmaster Upasana. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. We often have a habit of doing things at the last moment. which leads to stress and unsatisfactory results. So you would have to speak on stop procrastinating. Toastmaster Upasana, stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating, Toastmaster Upasana.
So, as a writer, I have numerous things to edit, review, and write. So, I get blogs from engineering team. I get article, white paper, case study. So, I remember last week, from Monday to Thursday, I had almost 20 different sets of document to review and edit and give my expert comments. And I am a known pro procrastinator. So if you want any lessons, please contact me. And I always thought that, okay, I'll do it. And I have to always submit it by Thursday, Friday. That's my always deadline. And I was more into, okay, I'll do it on Wednesday. I'll do it. Thursday, I have to submit. Engineering team is either way coding or doing a QA testing. They will hardly remember. Even the managers are busy with their releases. And slowly, when the moment Wednesday comes in, I got panicked. Because my manager had just pinged me, hi, what's the status? And I was Netflixing. I got super tense, and that's when I started my editing and reviewing process. Of course, for more than 2 of the documents, I thought it was blog, but I got update from my manager. No, these are white papers, which changes the course of review. And in this moment, I messed up. And that's when I thought that, no, that's not working. I really have to stop juggling with this thing. And that's when nowadays, what I do is, like you have asked, the second question was to-do list. So now I create a to-do list. I follow that path. Still, I am a procrastinator, but it has improved a lot. So I would love to say that procrastination makes your work very bad. That's it. Thank you.
You have beautifully told us the disadvantages of procrastination. But I would like to share a very quick fact. And Toastmaster Upasana, do let me know if you agree with this. I was reading an article which said that procrastination, to a small extent, has a benefit, especially if you're, engaged in a creative work, for example, writing. Because when you procrastinate, that is basically if you have a task, it's important to read the task and not start working on it immediately and work on it after some time, because the gap that you give, your subconscious mind keeps working on it, and then when you start working on the task, the ideas are already ready, so you're in a better situation to complete the task. Upasana, do you agree as a writer?
Yes, procrastination at some point is good, but not delaying it for long and keeping it for last moment, that is not advisable.
Exactly. So I just wanted to share this quick fact, but I am not supporting procrastination. So yeah. So we have Toastmaster Akib. Would you like to take the next topic?
Sorry, Sanjana. Due to the paucity of the time, I think we will have to close this section and start the Zoom poll, please. And I must say that I just love the way you were a dramatic queen today with my theme. You did fabulous, and the topics were amazing with the speakers around. Thank you so much. Can I have the timer, Toastmaster Pranav, Pothan, please? Please let us know if there are any disqualification. And please launch the polls, Zoom Master.
Yeah, there are no disqualification. All of them are within the time.
See, I'm doing a great job. Can you imagine? All of them are within the time in every section. Fabulous. All right. I have submitted my polls. Have you done it yet? All right. Now, I have a very tough question, and I can assure you, DTM Saurav, IITN Sanjana, or our Devashish friend, who is a chartered accountant, can also not answer. But as I am the TMOD, I must ask the question. Okay, so here it is. There are times when we are on the phone and we do so much of work, that even one flip or anything with to do with the finger, it doesn't work. I want to open any app, it doesn't work. I want to open Google Chrome, it doesn't work. And it is damn too slow every time I want to do something. What can I do to avoid this problem? And how can I solve this issue? Any answers to this question? Dekha, no one is answering. I am 100% sure nobody can answer this question.
And buy a new phone.
My God, he's somebody who's got a lot of money in the bank. Fabulous answer, but that's not the right answer. I'm looking for something else. Come on, let's be creative.
What's the question?
Restart your phone.
Question is, I do anything on this phone, it doesn't work. It doesn't
Restart
work.
your phone. Reboot it.
Yes. Who is this intelligent woman just like me? Who's that? Oh, do you have a name? I can't see the name.
It was me, Sanjana.
Ah, I was wrong. The IITN has answered. And that was the exact answer. Give a big round of applause. What was I trying to say? Devashish was trying to work on his balance sheet. There are times we work on with a lot of things in life, multitasking, and we realize that whatever you do, whatever number of hours you put in, that doesn't fit at all. The puzzle never gets solved. And what do you do then? Just like how you rebooted your phone, please get up from the place wherever you are and just move out of that place. Take a break, reboot your mind. Do you know, like on the desktop or the laptops, we tend to keep a lot of browsers open. We tend to do that with our minds also. We keep a lot of browsers open, and that's one reason we don't get sleep in the night. Now, don't tell me that I sleep really well. You have the wrong answer, madam. Okay, I'm talking about not so cool people around. Okay, so point is, take a break. Believe me, when you come back from that break of 5 minutes, when you take away that time, have a glass of water, do something which is not so cool, and you come back, things will work. And this is my personal experience. How many of you have gone through this stage in life, or how many of you feel that whatever I said makes sense? Okay, it's not making sense. Sanjana, does it make sense? Sanjana is scratching her head. Okay, Toastmaster Sanjeet, does it make sense?
Yeah, to an extent, yes, it does make sense.
To an extent, yes, it does make sense. I'm going to call upon our general evaluator and ask. We have Toastmaster Sahil. What's your take on this? Whatever I said just now.
Yes, Madam Toastmaster of the day, it does make sense.
Thank you so much. Those were the Satyavachan for the day. Thank you so much. And here we go for round 3. And this is a very special and an important round. This is called the general evaluation round. In this part of our meeting, it's going to be a constructive feedback session, which is going to be given to each speaker as well as to the overall meeting conduct, so that the members can benefit from the experience of the evaluators and become better speakers. For this, I now call upon our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Sahil Sachdev.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the day. I would first request my first evaluator, Rohan Nag, DTM, to kindly evaluate his speaker, Toastmaster Devashish.
It is said that the smile of a daughter is her father's sacred purpose. Good morning, Sergeant Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and the wonderful and the blessed father, Toastmaster Devashish. Devashish, let me share a few things that I absolutely loved about your speech. First, the story. You told us about the story of your personal life, not only about Toastmasters, but about your parents, your daughters, It actually made your speech that much more beautiful. And thanks to your story, today I feel I know you so much better. Bringing in your personal story made your speech that much more special and unique. Second were emotions. It is said that the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched, but can only be felt, and those are emotions. Sitting here miles away, even though I was looking at you through a screen, I could feel the emotions that you were going through, the emotions of joy, the emotions of pain, the emotions of detachment was absolutely fantastic. And third, the message. You had multiple message points peppered across your speech. Let me share a few. We need to show emotions and not hide them. Life will throw challenges, but we need to get stronger. Every problem will have a silver lining. These were fantastic message points and really added value to me as a member of your audience. Your purpose is your daughter's smile. My purpose is to try and help you in taking your speech to the next level. So here's an attempt at that. The first point of recommendation, voice modulation. I was so excited to know that my daughter was coming. I felt so much of pain when she was leaving. Voice modulation adds more force to the words that you are putting across your audience members, right? It creates the imagery in my mind along with the action that you're doing on stage. Second is a body language. You had good body language, absolutely. The dancing of your daughter, the singing of the wheels go round, but you had a crutch hand gesture, which was this. You can use your hands better to put across more definition to the words that you're trying to say. And your third point, Devashish, is character conceptualization. When I walked in and the door was open, and I saw an eye looking at me, an emotional eye looking up towards me. The point is, you are taller, your daughter is shorter. So you look down to your daughter while your daughter looks up at you. When you picked up your daughter on your shoulders, you could have looked to the left-hand side or to the right-hand side. So these kind of characters actually creates a beautiful imagery in my mind. Well, I can not only hear your speech, but see it as well. But other than that, Devashish, fantastic job. I absolutely loved your speech. If you can just work on your voice modulation, refine your body language a bit more, bring in characters and bring it to the standard of your ability to say stories, your ability to show your emotions and messages. Believe me, the day is not far. You will be standing with your daughters on your shoulders and a championship trophy in your hand. Wish you all the very best and God bless her. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rohan Nag DTM. Next, we have Toastmaster Mamta to kindly evaluate her prepared speaker, Toastmaster Ritwik. Toastmaster Mamta, the stage is all yours.
My dear target speaker, Toastmaster Ritwik, your topic was road trip that ended before it started. Road trip is something we all can relate. The moment you started your speech, I was like, oh my God, I'm really going to enjoy his speech. And I did that. Each and every noun and verb in your speech, verb like driving a car, I was calling my friend, I was scrolling on the mobile, each and everything was described in a form of body language. I was able to see the body language here and there, which was good, which your project was asking you to do, and you did justice to your objective. Kudos to that. Because of that body language only, I was able to connect, and I was mentally there in your speech. The moment you said like your car did duck, duck, duck and hit the divider, sorry. So I was mentally there. I thought like, oh my God, the driver might not have clutched and downgraded the gear, because of that engine was making duck, duck, duck sound. So I was able to connect with your speech to that level, all because of the body language. Kudos to that. Now, coming to the point of improvement, audience engagement. Throughout the speech, your speech was very well organized, very well drafted, compact, powerful. But it was missing the body language. You might have started your speech like, how many of you have experienced a road trip? How many of you have experienced an accident on the road trip? So that would have taken your speech to a completely next level. Overall, if I summarize, you did justice with the body language, what your objective was asking. Work on your body language, work on your audience engagement tactics. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamta. Last but not the least, we have Toastmaster Aparna, who will be evaluating her prepared speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy. Toastmaster Aparna, the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sahil. Toastmaster Nancy, I've always known that you're a good speaker, but that doesn't essentially mean that every good speaker becomes a good storyteller, because storytelling is a completely different ballgame. And today I was very eager to see how well you do it. And boy, I was not disappointed. Now, storytelling requires a lot of things that you bring in, a lot of elements that you have to bring in, because you're essentially inspiring or motivating, you're bringing people together. So it's something we have to do very carefully. And I say you did this really well, because one, the vocal variety. Now, I know we say vocal variety in every speech, but here especially, you did it really well, because there was one emotion you brought out really well: compassion. For a character like Shakuni, how do you make the audience, show some compassion towards him? Because all our lives we've been told he's a bad guy. And you weren't forcing this compassion. You brought it out very beautifully when you spoke. Because the problem with compassion, bringing an emotion like compassion, is we tend to overdo it. Like sadness and all that we do. It doesn't work. You did it beautifully. A good balance of facial expressions, the timbre, the tonality, and the pace of your voice was just on point to show that you truly had compassion towards this person. You truly empathized with this particular person. This worked in your favor. And I recommend you go back and watch the video when you say that, especially two lines that stood out for me. Slowly and slowly, people started dying one by one. I'm not doing it half as well as you're doing, but you did it really well. Only a handful of rice was there that they could share. So nicely done. When you did all of this set your story apart from the usual stories we hear. These two lines were like pillars in your story. Please do go have a look at the video and you'll know why I'm saying that. The dialogue that you brought in next was also quite powerful. The one which Subalu says to, I think to your Shakuni, it was very powerful. And there again, it was a very good punch or an end to that powerful story. So these were things that stood out for me and brought the story to life. Now, what is it that you can definitely work on? Is one thing I want to point out here is using a colloquial term like a manglik. A lot of the audience probably don't know what a manglik is. So maybe a little explanation to why they did the ritual, because your story is balancing on that particular word. So just work on telling that meaning the next time. Other than that, two improvement areas that challenges I'd like to throw your way is the transition to the story could have be done in a better way. Instead of saying, I'm going to tell you a story now, you could have said something else and brought in. This is more like a challenge. And finally, at the end, you gave us a takeaway and you said, you don't know what the story is on the other side, right? Instead of just leaving it there, a short sentence or a phrase always works well as the last line. You can keep this in mind and try it. Other than that, wonderfully done. Great vocal variety, dialogue delivery, wonderfully done. Just work on that manglik and the transition and the closing. Beautifully done. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Sorry, you're on mute. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aparna, for such a keen evaluation. I would now like to launch the polls. Can I request the Zoom master to launch the polls for the best evaluator? But before that, timer, could you please let us know that if there are any disqualifications?
No, there are no disqualifications.
Thank you so much. I would request everyone to kindly cast their valuable votes. Tech Master, are we good to proceed?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I would now request the timer for today to kindly present his report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil Satyeva, General Evaluator Sahil Satyeva. Let me share my timer report. Yeah. So, yeah, kudos to all the speakers. First of all, kudos to all the speakers for not, overstepping the time or understepping the time. So, telling about the speakers, I felt that because of the speakers, I did not have to show a red card. They all of them spoke within the time limit of 6 to 7 minutes. So they did not overstep the time of 7 minutes. As you can see, Toastmaster Devashish, he took 6 minutes, 18 seconds and 84 milliseconds. And Toastmaster Ritwik Raj, 6 minutes, 15 seconds. And distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel, 6 minutes, 56 seconds and 45 milliseconds. So kudos to that for qualifying. Then coming to the evaluation, I felt all of them were within the time. Especially DTM Rohan Nag and Toastmaster Aparna Raja, they actually fully utilized the time, I can say, including the grace period. So kudos to you for that. Then table topics, also we don't have any disqualification. All of them were within the time, and distinguished Toastmaster Rohan Nag and Toastmaster Upasana, they also utilized the grace period which was given to them. So they took around 2 minutes 12 seconds and 86 milliseconds for Rohan Nag, and Upasana 2 minutes 10 seconds and 92 milliseconds. So overall, I'm happy with the timing and the fact that nobody was disqualified. So that's it about my report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. Next, we have the hour counter for today, Toastmaster Upasana. Can we have you?
Sorry, I am unable to share my screen. Okay, wait. Yes, is my screen visible? So we have the report, and DTM Nancy, TM Maanvi, Toastmaster Ritwik, Rohan and Mamta, they are with no fillers today. And I would request everybody to applaud because this is a great feat. And others, we do have fillers, like even I also have that. And I'll share this report in the chat group. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Hour Counter. I would now like to call Toastmaster Maanvi, the Wordmaster Grammarian, to share her report.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. So I am sharing my screen, and there were many good usages today, and you'll be happy to know that I was unable to find that much not so good usages. So as I am flipping the slides, you can see all the sentences, all the words that you used and that I noted. Along with that, the not so good usage that I found was overcome that out of my comfort zone. I believe that were two sentences mixed together, and the correct usage can be overcame that and came out of my comfort zone. But today we had many foreign language uses, especially the Hindi ones, that were या TMOD का रोल ले लो, अम्मा अब्बा गाड़ी देखा. I'll request whenever it is important to use that foreign language, please translate it into English so that everyone can understand. And as I shared the word of the day, that was aggravation. Only two people, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel and Toastmaster Shilpi Tiwari, used the word of the day today. That was all from my side. Thank you so much. Over to the Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian, Toastmaster Maanvi, for such a beautiful report. I would now like to call the listener for today to test our active listening skills. Toastmaster Sanjeet, the stage is all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil. Quiz time for everyone. Okay, I have very simple, very easy questions. Okay. Okay, so my first question is, why is August month extraordinary for Toastmaster Devasish?
Because he met his
I'll
daughter
repeat.
and his parents.
It's Onam and he met his kid. Yeah.
Exactly. So fantastic. So I'll just add to that. So first thing is it was his birthday month. Second, he was happy with festivals. And then he was very happy because he's going to meet his daughter, his family, and he was wanted to overcome his emotions and come out of his comfort zones. Yes. Okay. So in the similar lines, another question. What is name of Devash's daughter?
Vaidehi.
Correct. Okay, very good. Okay, the next. Toastmaster Ritwik in his speech wanted us to take on what? Anyone? I'll repeat. Toastmaster Ritwik in his speech wanted us to take on what?
Road trip.
Road trip.
Correct. Yes. So, which car brands had he mentioned?
Mercedes.
A-class.
And?
A-class.
And?
Red Mercedes A-class.
No, he mentioned about Mercedes and Maruti. These are the two brands which he mentioned. He mentioned that I don't even know how to drive a Maruti.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, so Toastmasters Ritwik's Mercedes was going at what speed?
20 kilometers.
20 kilometers.
Okay. So Gandhari was married, okay, to nullify the Manglik dosha. So she was married to whom?
Good.
Dhritarashtra.
No, before that she was married to a goat, so that the dosha gets nullified. Okay. So moving ahead with the next. So why did King Subala twisted Shakuni's leg?
So that she remembers the pain.
Forever.
Forever.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so now I'll just ask this final question. So what do we learn from DTM Nancy's story?
Not to judge without knowing their backstory.
To extent correct, but the correct statement will be don't jump to conclusions. Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you, everyone. I think all of you answered very nicely. So over to you, Toastmaster Sahil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjeet, for such an engaging session. Can we have a huge round of applause for our tag team? I would request the Zoom master to kindly launch the polls for the auxiliary role players. There we go. I would request everyone to kindly cast their valuable votes. Techmaster, do let me know when can we proceed.
You can proceed.
Thank you so much. I would start with my prepared speech evaluators. Now, whenever we evaluate in a Toastmasters meeting so that the next person, so that the speaker can improve, augment his skills next time onwards. So kudos to you, all the three evaluators. You followed the Toastmasters mission, Toastmasters guidelines, the CRC approach, the sandwich technique, commendations, recommendations, and then the commendations. Now, in an evaluation session, those commendations and recommendations should be made in a point that the transitions have to be smooth enough. The transitions have to be smooth enough when you suppose you start with commendations and eventually you start with your recommendations. Please don't wait for the green card to be displayed and then you start with your recommendations or the later section. So make sure you start with your recommendations even before the green card is visible, so that the speakers can improve, so that the speakers can get to know their areas of improvement. Because commendations, actually, if it would have been an icebreaker speech, then we suggest to have more commendations. But since they all were delivering their level 2 projects, I would suggest make sure, if, as an evaluator, we should focus more upon the recommendations, the areas of improvement, so that they all can improve next time onwards. Now for the auxiliary role players for the timer. Now Toastmaster Pranav. Now Toastmaster Pranav, while you were introducing your role as the timer for today, you highlighted the importance of time in general. You highlighted the importance of time in a Toastmasters meeting, that how important the timing is, how important does this role play. And then you mentioned about the prepared speech guidelines, 5 to 7 minutes, the table topics, and then the evaluation guidelines with 30 seconds of a grace margin. So I would suggest, Toastmaster Pranav, while you mention 30 seconds of a grace period, make sure you clearly mention that it has to be on the upper side or on the lower side. So that was one recommendation from my side, Toastmaster Pranav. But then while you were displaying your report, while you were sharing your report, it was a visual presentation. Kudos to you. And particularly, I absolutely loved those timer cards, green, yellow, red. The R counter for today, Toastmaster Upasana. Now, Toastmaster Upasana, while you were introducing your role as an R counter, you said that your role as an R counter would be to keep a note on all the crutch sounds, crutch words, and all the filler voices, filler sounds. But as an R counter, it is your responsibility to make sure that whenever a person stumbles or stuck somewhere, you should have encouraged him to take a pause and then speak. A pause might help people, a pause might help speakers to elevate their speeches next time onwards, and probably they'll not be able to use a lot of crutch sounds whenever they'll implement pauses in their speeches. So as an R counter, you should have encouraged them to use pauses in their speeches. But other than that, Toastmaster Upasana, no such recommendations other than that. Toastmaster Maanvi, the Wordmaster Grammarian. Now, Toastmaster Maanvi, you had, while you were introducing your role, you introduced the word of the day. And then you stated why the grammar is important in a Toastmasters meeting, the importance of grammar, and then your role as a grammarian. While you were delivering your report, I would like to challenge you with a few rhetorical things that next time onwards, whenever you take up this role as a grammarian, challenge yourself with rhetorical devices. Like I was able to witness distinguished Toastmaster Nancy, while she was delivering her speech, she used a hyperfora. She raised a question at the very beginning and then she eventually answered it. So make sure whenever you have commendations, there were a lot of rhetorical devices used in today's meeting. You could have highlighted that. And then a few recommendations. There was only one recommendation you mentioned, but there were a few more recommendations. Like someone said, return back. Return back, it's a redundant phrase. It has to be return, not return back. Someone said it feel like, it has to be it felt like. So things like that. Make sure we listen attentively to all the speakers, even if we are taking auxiliary roles. The listener for today, Toastmaster Sanjeet, you had engaging questions. You hooked all of us with all beautiful questions, and everyone enjoyed your session. No such recommendations for you as such. Now, starting with the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Chaitanya. Toastmaster Chaitanya, you were there in the meeting room. You opened the meeting room at least 20 minutes before the meeting started. Then you announced the Toastmasters mission, the 3 ground rules. You introduced the presiding officer for today, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy. Now, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy again set the tone for the entire meeting. She made us know the importance of Toastmasters in a different way. And then she introduced the Toastmaster of the day, who was taking the role as the Toastmaster of the day for the very first time in the Gabbys. And not just in the Gabbys, but for the very first time, I guess, as the Toastmaster of the day. Now, the Toastmaster of the day, I am done. You had a beautiful and an engaging theme. You made sure to lead and orchestrate the entire meeting. You ensured it is an organized and an engaging session. You created an environment where members and guests participate their communication skills while fostering a sense of camaraderie among their participants. So kudos to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. And then you had a storytelling approach while you were having your Toastmaster of the day, while you were delivering your entire note as a Toastmaster of the day. You had a storytelling approach that made all of us hooked towards you. So kudos to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. No such recommendations. Then the Table Topics Master. Now the Table Topics Master, you introduced the importance of impromptu speaking, but then I would also say you could have encouraged all the speakers to kindly use the word of the day, because it is not just the responsibility of Grammarian to introduce the word of the day. It is the responsibility of each and every role taker to make sure that all of us use the word of the day, learn something from the session, from the Toastmaster session. So, and other than Toastmaster, Madam Table Topics Master, you had beautiful topics, all relevant to the theme. So kudos to you. And thank you so much. No such commendations and recommendations from my side. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Can we give a big round of applause to our dear General Evaluator, Sahil Sachdeva? Just a couple of words for you, Sahil. Your feedback has been absolutely constructive, to the point, relevant for each one of our roles, and it is fabulous. I have loved every bit of it. Thank you so much, even though I was playing only the TMOD role, but it has also helped me to understand if I were to pick up any of the other roles, how am I supposed to take it ahead? So thank you. It really means a lot for the Gabbys that you have come in today and shared all your thoughts and feedback with us. Thank you once again. And what do I say now? What do I say? I am done. It's okay to say every time when you feel worn out. Please do say so. It's important that we realize and understand the different emotions we go through. All right? But I have one thing to go. One thing to go, which is the Zoom Master. Please launch the polls for the, sorry, I missed that out. For the role takers. Please launch the polls for the role takers and maybe request for your support here. Request everyone to take the polls, please. Thank you. So while the polls are getting submitted or have been submitted already, I will request Zoom Master to also share the results. Meanwhile, I do have a quote to tell every one of you. I don't know who said this, but this is what it is. Your breath is your power. Your breath is your power. When life is foggy, path is unclear, and mind is dull, remember your breath. It has the power to give you peace. A wise man once said, life is like breathing. If you try to hold it, you will lose it. But let it come and go, and you will always be connected to it. On that note, thank you so much. Over to distinguished Toastmaster, our presiding officer for the day, Nancy Goel, to close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tessy. Maybe hear it for our Toastmaster of the day today to come up with such a beautiful theme and then keeping us engaged for the entire meeting. Thank you. I was wondering, why do we have such a low attendance today? Just 15 to 20 people, 15 are still there. During the course of the meeting, we had somewhere closer to 20, 22, 23 at max, but this is not our usual attendance. We generally have people 40, 45 in the room. Then it suddenly occurred to me that it's a long weekend. We have an off on Monday, and that's the reason, despite long weekend, we still have 20 people joining this meeting room. So kudos to all of you for coming on a Saturday morning, that too over a long weekend, and learning through these speeches, evaluations, TMOD, all these roles that we had today. Thank you so much. And that's a pat on everyone's back. Just pat your back for being here. As presiding officer, I am supposed to announce the results of the polls that we conducted today. But before we announce the results, I would like to ask for some feedback for the meeting from those who are still here. Yes, Saurabh.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that today's meeting, as I mentioned on the officers group, I wanted to say here that today's meeting had a low attendance, but I think this is going to be by far one of the best meetings that I've ever attended in any Toastmaster club. The quality of speeches, the quality of evaluation, the meeting starting on time, all set to end on time, even with a 5 minutes break. Yes, the table topic section, we could have had a little bit number of more speakers. I think that was maybe a slight miss. At least 5 speakers would have been great. But apart from that, I think it was a wonderfully conducted meeting. So I think all the role takers did a very good job. And one thing is that, a lot of time I've seen people say that, oh, I'm not attending the meeting today because I don't have a role. And today I realized how much are we missing out on when we think like that. You enjoy the Toastmasters meeting the most when you don't have a role. You are there in the attendance. You sit and listen to other people. You watch them perform. And the learning that you get, I think that is much more than when you are an evaluator or a speaker, because then you are just focused on your role. So if you don't have a role, ensure that you attend the meeting. That's my learning from today. Thank you. Back to you, Nancy.
Thank you so much, TTM Saurabh. I would say multiple takeaways for me from your feedback as well, especially how we can be an active listener, just not being a role taker, but being there in the meeting and listening to others, learning from everyone's stories, speeches, evaluations, and whatnot. And another thing, when you say this is by far the best meeting you have attended, trust me, he is somebody who attends almost 1 to 2 meetings per day, or maybe more at times on an average. And coming from a distinguished Toastmaster, double distinguished Toastmaster like him, it's a huge compliment. So thank you so much. Can we hear it from DTM Rohan? DTM Rohan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Sorry, I was just unmuting myself. Thank you so much for the opportunity, especially to Saurav, sir. I mean, right from the word go, given I was getting a lot of support from Chaitanya, and he explained the entire process to me. He shared the agenda, the meeting link, and I was actually pinging a few leaders of a club that I'm a part of, and Sarsa was there delivering a speech. So whatever I was observing, okay, the planning, the execution, I mean, everything was just so perfect, and I was sending them, notes. See, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. So we can emulate this. So it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I've just floated an idea, and I'll talk to Sarasa also in due course of time. Let's see if that comes to fruition very soon. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so much, TTM Rohan, for your feedback here. I would like to hear it from Toastmaster Sahil as well. We have already heard from him in the G report. However, a quick word before I move on to the poll results.
It was sheer pride to witness everyone today, Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy. It was indeed an insightful session for me. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil. Okay, moving on to our poll results. I'll start off with auxiliary role taker. Our today's Best Aux Role Taker Award goes to Toastmaster Sanjeet Nayak. Toastmaster Sanjeet Nayak, congratulations to you. Our evaluator, best evaluator, goes to our guest, distinguished Toastmaster, Rohan Nag. Congratulations, DTM Rohan, and thank you so much for being here, taking up this role. Thank you. Moving on to the next poll. Okay, I'm quickly checking rest of the polls. Looks like we don't have table topics. Okay, I'm not able to see the results for table topic speaker. I'll need some help from Chaitanya here.
I'm pinging you.
Okay, all right. In the meanwhile, I'll move on to main role taker award. The best main role taker. We had three fabulous people, three fabulous Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master, and Journal Evaluator. Huge competition today, and the best main role taker goes to Toastmaster Sahil Sachdeva. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sahil, for being such a fabulous GE, and special thanks to Toastmaster Tessy and Toastmaster Sanjana for yet another fabulous session as TMOD and TTM. Best speaker, we had wonderful speeches. I didn't hear the first two because I was so worried about mine. So yeah, I can't say much about the first two speeches, but I have heard from the officers that we had best speeches today. And the best speaker award goes to yours truly. Coming to table topic speaker award, that goes to, okay, DTM Rohan, you are bagging 2 awards from today's meeting. Congratulations for bagging this award as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a wonderful audience, for being a wonderful role taker. With this, our meeting number 151 is adjourned. I will see you on Tuesday. We don't meet weekly once, we meet weekly thrice. I'll see you on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m.
Bye, everyone.